Welcome to Salem Witch Trials Daily. I'm Josh Hutchinson.
This is Sarah Jack. Today, we're focusing on the incredible events of Wednesday, March 23rd, 1692.
It's a day marked by intense spiritual warfare in the village and by the issuance of some truly shocking arrest warrants. Let's get right into it.
While the elderly Rebecca nurse is actually at her own home praying for the sick and afflicted members of her community, a very different version of her is allegedly wreaking havoc. According to the visions of Mrs. Ann Putnam, the ghostly forms of both Nurse and Martha Cory brutally torment her.
The Reverend Deodat Lawson witnesses the aftermath firsthand when he calls on the Putnam family and finds that Mrs. Putnam is resting in bed, recovering from a terrifying fit, surrounded by her husband and concerned friends. They ask Lawson to lead them in prayer, though Anne warns that the ghostly apparitions will stop him from doing so.
He manages to pray without any ghostly interruptions, but right after he finishes, things take a frightening turn. Thomas Putnam thinks his wife has peacefully fallen asleep, but when he tries to move her, he realizes her body is completely rigid. Once she is finally able to sit up, she begins convulsing, her eyes clamped tightly shut, as she engages in a fierce, one-sided shouting match with the supposed spirit of Rebecca nurse.
Anne demands that the specter leave her alone, shouting questions about why a woman who claims to be saved by God would hurt her. According to Anne's side of the argument, Nurse is destined to die in 2 years, and her name has been permanently erased from the Book of Life. In contrast, Anne boldly declares that her own soul is protected by the righteousness of Christ and is completely untouchable by the apparition.
The struggle intensifies from there as Anne struggles physically while trying to name a specific Bible verse to banish the specter of Rebecca. The invisible nurse supposedly claims the verse is not real. Eventually, gasping and straining, Anne manages to yell out the passage is from the 3rd chapter of Revelation.
Lawson is actually a bit conflicted about what to do next. He worries that reading the scripture aloud to ward off a spirit is too similar to the magical incantations used by local folk magic practitioners, but he reads it anyway. As soon as he reaches the verse stating, "You have the name of being alive and you are dead," Anne's eyes snap open and she instantly calms down.
The Putnam family tells Lawson that Anne frequently uses Bible verses this way. She finds assurance in comforting passages, but is willing to pull out verses that condemn the specter of Goody Nurse. But Anne Putnam isn't the only one suffering. The ghostly shapes of Nurse and Cory are also attacking Abigail Williams. Another girl, Elizabeth Hubbard, claims to see Nurse's apparition, though it doesn't physically harm her.
With all these claims piling up, the Putnam family takes action. Edward and Jonathan Putnam travel to Salem Town to officially file complaints with Magistrates John Hathorne and Jonathan Corwin.
They accuse Rebecca Nurse of afflicting Ann Putnam Sr., Ann Putnam Jr., Abigail Williams, and several others. But they don't stop there. They also file a complaint against Dorothy Good, who is the 4-year-old daughter of the already arrested Sarah Good.
The magistrates send out arrest warrants to Marshal George Herrick, whose orders are to apprehend the elderly Rebecca Nurse and the young Dorothy Good and have them at Ingersoll's Tavern in Salem Village by 8 a.m. the following day.
While all this chaos unfolds in Salem, significant events happen off the coast. Captains John Alden, the Mayflower descendant, and James Converse have just left Boston, heavily guarded by a brigantine and a sloop to protect them from enemy privateers.
They're sailing to St. John, Canada on a mission to exchange ransom funds and captured French soldiers for New England hostages, which include Alden's own son and Colonel Edward Ting,